Yo, the comrade that posted a request? We are from Marker Solution. Oh yes, you really do look dependable. It's just as the rumors say. Wait, isn't that guy... I am assuming you're the one who recommended our service? You're the editor-in-chief of that one gossip rag. We met sometime last year, didn't we? Gotta say though, you pick an awfully lively place for our meetup this time. I suppose there's a reason for that? I see you're as quick on the uptake as ever, Arkwright. Having a loud crowd surrounding us make it hard for people to eavesdrop. Anyway, you will hear out his request, won't you? It sounded like it'd be right up your alley. If I remember correctly, you often act as a go-between for immigrants dealing with special circumstances, right? I'm not so sure about this one, guys. Migrant workers tend to get caught up in a lot of not so hot work. They get a bad rep for a reason. Believe me, I understand the reputation they have better than anyone else. But there can be a lot of red tape in their paperwork. If they want to feed their family, must have no choice but to resort to criminal means. People like that are who make a majority of my client base, migrants unable to obtain proper work visas. In other words, migrants who have no legal rights to work in this country. I have seen firsthand the problem immigrants can face is not pleasant. Well, if they are Easter, you can bet heroin will take care of them. But I guess the others don't really got a lot of options. And maybe it's not my place to say, but I believe that's better outcome than them starving in the street while they wait for their papers. Well, when you put it that way, I understand why you are apprehensive. I'm sure you know plenty of people like him who use their job to exploit foreigners. It's just well, Conrad here knows where to draw the line, though I suppose he has sent a few people to handle some serious dreadful manual labor. But trust me when I say he neither introduced them to illegal work nor takes cut of their pay. Well, I guess that's much of assurance as we can get. Go ahead and give us the details then. I'm guessing it's got something to do with those missing workers we have been hearing about? Yes, you see, after contacting me about how the work isn't for them, they will go missing altogether. It's been a pretty big topic of concern in my line of work, though nobody's been able to make heads or tails. Honestly, if this keeps up, I'm worried suspicious will start to fall on both me and my colleagues. Yeah, you're right, you be suspect number one in no time. So what, you want us to figure out what's going on so they don't start pinning the disappearance on you guys? If you could, yes. Does that sound like something you could do? Why no chaos? Alright, seems like a pretty cut and dry issue. Plus we can't exactly say no to a referral from editor-in-chief. Yeah, I'm also pretty worried about the safety of these workers. Oh, thank you so much. I'm so relieved I just can't get a good sleep knowing what could be happening to those people. And here I thought you were more worried about saving your own ass. Well, I've been doing this work for a while. You heard some pretty grueling stories about leaving immigrants lead. You have to have a heart of stone not to sympathize with them. Well, if that's how you feel, maybe I don't have a many reservation about this job as I thought. I agree, if the lives of those migrant workers truly are in jeopardy, I see no issue in taking on this request. Do you mind going over the details once more? I can't thank you enough. I've been a bit hesitated to consult the police or the bracers, so this is a huge weight off my shoulder. Well, looks like the things are finally going your way, Conrad. I'm glad I was here to introduce you all. Anyhow, I'm a busy man, so I'll be heading off now. Feel free to decide what to do amongst yourselves. That guy's a real piece of work. I'm sure we'll be just fine without him. More importantly, why don't you fill us in on some of the specifics? I hear something about the ones disappearing being migrants from the north. That's right, they're the ones who gone missing most frequently. Eastern and Central Easterns haven't seemed to be affected at all, however. Even white foreigners come here for work? They do, yes. After all, there are a fair number of undeveloped regions in the north, along with those from Northumbria. Also receive immigrants from the outlying areas around the free cities as well. Yeah, I used to hear all sorts of stories about the tribe up there. It is strange that they have been made a target though. We're gonna need to do some digging, particularly into the workers' background. I'm glad you share my concern, however I believe it's best if I leave the rest to you. I'll be in the area for a while, so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. So what do you want to do first? We don't exactly have much to go on. We need to find people who are familiar with not only migrant workers, but specifically those from North Lemuria. Now that I think about it, I hear that one subcontracting factory employs a lot of them. Bet we could probably talk some of their business partners into spinning out a few dirty secrets. Exactly, the workers themselves would likely be on guard if we were to ask directly. Investigating their periphery is the better strategy. Alright then, let's hit up Brandley first. Give all the parts he has to order. I'm sure he's got some connection with people in subcontracting. Not only that, but he's the kind to pay attention to the small stuff. He may just have some pretty good leads. Why do you think we should ask about the migrants? Gabriella used to work with the Northern Jaggers, right? Maybe she will know something. Nah, her roots run a little too deep in the underworld. We should try talking to some of the more lawful immigrants' population first. In that case, we should focus on places where people from the north are more likely to gather. Come to think of it, aren't the people who run Old Town Bathhouse from Remiferia? I shop Agnes. It's usually pretty easy to miss something right under your nose. Well, it was more on an epiphany than anything. That being said, I think they became naturalized citizens quite a while ago. Do you think they still know what's going on in the immigrant community? I think it's worth a shot after all. Northern folks take their sauna pretty seriously. Even if they don't have direct connection anymore, it's likely that Laguna still serves as a central hub. Then I suppose it's Sarah. We'll be heading to Bradley Maintenance and the Laguna Bathhouse.
Time to start working.
No, yes.
Time to depart.
What? I like my bath.
Let me ask you something.
You want to know about immigrants from North Lemuria? You're right, we do see our fair share around here. Our family is from Remiferia, but we share our culture with people all over the north. In particular, we get lots of Northumbria immigrants who like to stop by. They usually come in to talk to my grandma and grandpa about all their problems. I think maybe it's the workers complain about their day. Bingo. Still picking up on stuff like that is pretty impressive. Tell me, have you heard anything strange lately about those workers you mentioned? Well, I guess it's not really new, but there's been some talk about them being dissatisfied with the way they are being treated. Dissatisfied with the way they are being treated? Are they being discriminated against? I think it's a little different. I mean, even though they are immigrants, they still look like pretty much everyone else in Calvar, right? Compared to other immigrants, the ones from up north don't really stand out that much. That's true, even immigrants advocates movement tend to focus on those from east or central east. I'm sure it's because physiological differences are more easily identifiable. But if that idea starts making the round, it's not hard to imagine why northern migrants would be treated less favorable. and it's hard to gather sympathy for them when they look just like the majority of Calvard population. So they feel like they're being left out, is that it? Even though they're dealing with similar problems, it's hard for them to gain the same amount of sympathy. I can see how that made you feel a bit trapped. Won't you be surprised if someone was able to use that to their advantage? Yeah, but I haven't heard a thing about anyone being dismissed of it. So she got to you already, huh? I may just have some useful gossip for you all. You have heard something? You better not be pulling their tails. Well, it's only something that came down the grapevine. There's been talk of someone who can pull foreign workers from the mire of their jobs. Interesting. Can you tell us more? You see, I've been looking into investment trends for social welfare services recently. While I was doing some research, I heard something about non-profit organization that struck me as a tad peculiar. An NPO? Yes, it was only recently created too. They say they are a group that provide employment support to immigrants groups. It appears they've been luring in immigrants who already have jobs with promises of both better pay and working conditions. All it takes is one question: are you really happy with wherever you are at right now? But they are asking them to quit? Sounds like they must be pretty convincing. I've never heard of an NPO asking people to quit their job though. They don't seem to be finding new jobs for the ones that quit either. In my opinion, it's a small rather irresponsible of them. The least they could do is help them get back on their feet. I agree, no matter how prosperous the Republic is now, there's no guarantee that they would be able to find another stable income so easily. Especially for those that don't have a valid work visa. It sounds like they are just increasing the number of employee immigrants. Why would they do that? They can be profiting from it somehow, right? It may be too late to ask this now, but what is an NPO? I hear of an NPO before. NGO. Of course, to give a simple explanation, NGO stands for non-government organization. On the other hand, NPO stands for non-profit organization. Both are independent from their nations and are operating to better social welfare. In general, the ones that are restricted to a specific field and act on a local level are NPOs. Those who act on an international level and cover multiple pursuits are referred to as NGOs. I see, I think I get it now. But if that's true, then this NPO isn't making anything better at all. Yeah, it looks like we're going to have to do some more research into this organization. Thanks for all your help, guys. You're welcome. I hope you figured it out. Come on, there is no need to thank. Just join me for our next game of Mahjong, and I'll be considering it even. So you want to know about the people my suppliers employ, huh? Well, I gotta imagine they use their fair share of immigrants workers. They don't ever talk to you about them, figure you would have known more. I mean, they don't exactly fill me in all the details, but I guess I have been hearing some strange things about them lately, things that got me concerned. Don't know if it's about you're looking for, but I can share it with you if you like. That will be very helpful. Did something happen? Right, well, where should I start? Apparently a bunch of migrants worked at one of the factories just up and quit recently, all over a few days too. I thought it was some sort of strike at first, but it doesn't seem like that was the case. There's been no contract from the workers since. This is certainly worrisome. Are there any warning signs? From what I have been told, management had no idea if it would happen till it all went down. The ones who left were known to be pretty serious workers too. None of them showed any dissatisfaction with their job at all. But regardless, they all got up around the same time and called it quits. I think they say something to the likes of "this job doesn't suit me" or "I deserve better." It's pretty strange they all gave the same reason for leaving. Not to mention how these were the last people you expected from. It sounds like this was instigated by someone. Any word about possible third parties? Well, I won't say I am that informed, but I hear a little something about those workers being seen talking to someone on the outside. I see, whoever someone is must have acquired the influence on them. But quitting too suddenly, what were they planning on doing after they left? The factory was worried about the same thing. They even asked them if they had any other jobs lined up. I guess the workers seemed pretty confident that things work out. Maybe that person they were confiding in gave them some sort of grand opportunity. I wonder, do you think it could be someone related to that MPO from before? Yeah, it sounds pretty likely. Well, anyway, that's about all I know at the moment. I should mention though, everything I hear was just complaints from my suppliers. No worries, you have been a great help. Yeah, you've really given us a lot to think on. Alright, as it stands now, I think we have a pretty basic idea of what went down. I'm a bit hazy on a few of the details though. It's just start by putting every in order. The base assumption is that the ones going missing are primarily those from North Lemuria. They are also migrants that don't have work visa. They quit their jobs all within the same time frame but vanish immediately after. And the one who told them to quit was from an NPO. But the question is why and what could they possibly stand to gain from getting migrants to quit? It's also worrying that those who left seem to have good of all communication. We still have a lot of questions about the whole thing. If only we had something more conclusive. Why don't we just go to the sources of the problem then? Let's find this MPO person and make them tell us what's going on. The problem is the problem with that is we don't actually know which MPO they're part of. Hook didn't really give us any solid information. Oh, Agnes, is this part of and a voice? It's because I thought I thought it was voice, but it was Van, and now it's voice. Oh, Miss Towa. Other than Agnes and Elaine, I don't think I have the pleasure of meeting you all. I'm Towa Herschel, Iconic, one of the temporary teachers at Aramis. I also work to assist ICO, the International Cooperative Organization. It's nice to meet you all. Are you Agnes' teacher? Towa Herschel is also chief instructor at the branch campus of Thor's Military Academy. I've heard she's quite the central figure there. Not only did she manage to engage its current student, but its alumni as well. Well, I don't think I'm worth that much fanfare. On the other hand, I've heard more than my fair share of stories about Mr. Arkwright. I must admit it, I've been looking forward to making your acquaintance. It's just as much of an honor to meet the rumors genuine of Thor's. I'm told you got your hands in all sorts of places. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to work together sometime. Yeah, I'm sure we will. You know, actually, there are a few things we're struggling to understand at the moment. Think you could lend us a hand? Miss Towa is associated with an NGO. Would you happen to know anything about the MPOs currently operating in Republic? What, are you having a problem with one of them? Please tell me everything you know. Okay, I had no idea this was something you were investing. The NGO I'm currently associated with does it work to support area level MPOs. The one I'm looking into at the moment hasn't been forthcoming about the result of their activities. Naturally, there's been a bit of suspicion. Given the timing, I can't deny the possibility that it may just be connected to the one you have been all here about. Also, I believe their stated intention are to aid the employment of Orange with special circumstances. Well, I can't say for sure that they are the same organization, but it seemed like our most likely lead at their moment. I agree, but would you mind allowing me to accompany you in your investigation? This could be exactly what I need for a big breakthrough in my case. I won't hesitate to give you my full cooperation. Is she fighting? And even if it isn't still related to an issue with an MPO, it's my duty to follow up on it. You mean you will help us? That will be great. Yeah, I will be satisfied with a few useful tidbits, but having you with us will be way more efficient. Even if I do end up owning you one, I look forward to working with you. Yes, I think our odds will be much better with her along. Well, now that we have welcomed you aboard, do you think you could share any of your more recent findings? Maybe it will help us figure out our next steps. Actually, I do have something. I have a friend who's been looking. Sorry about all the extra tasks. You find anything useful? Is that? I mean, she's talking in the way. Outside the NGO, her friends will be never mind. There's no. She's a plural, but the one on Northumbria. Where? Well, to the north of Verbonia. Is Crow. Yes, actually I found another group that was looking into a suspicious MPO. It seemed to be a separate incident, however. From what I hear so far, I'm pretty sure the MPO we're each looking into is one of the same. Anyway, you say there was movement over in the center marquee? I'll head over now to check it out. Sorry to keep you waiting, they managed to find something after all. As I mentioned, we are almost confident that the MPO I've been looking into and the one from your case are the same organization. Their official name is the Association for Better Migrants Working Conditions, ABMWC. To think they are not only misappropriating funds, but they may also be involved in the disappearance of migrant workers, I can believe it. Istowa. Regardless, it looks like we know what we need to do. You say something about there being movement over the central marquee, right? Then we should hurry. If we are quick enough, we may be able to catch them in the act. Friends, so I guess Agni, Angie, Crow. I don't think George. I don't think too much George. And more when she was dying. She didn't say his name. But yeah. I will put it more, well, Angelica could be spying inside and Crow could be like spying in between. Let's catch him before we lose his trail. Ferry can play good cop and I'll play bad cop. No, we can't. He may just be an innocent bystander. Yeah, if we approach the wrong person, it could alert the guy we're actually after. We're running out of time though. As soon as we get some confirmation, we'll make a move. I see, that person just now said he was from the ABMWC. Yeah, I'm not from Carver, so he was asking if I wasn't happy with my job. He said that in order to find more quality work, I should quit as soon as I can so that we could talk about other opportunities. If I'm being honest though, I'm much more interested in having a stable income. I turned him down. Van. Yeah, he's gotta be our guy. The name is Method, there's no room for doubt. He can have gone far. Let's follow him. Yes, we need to put a stop to this. This street doesn't seem to be crowded as the others. Do you think he's going to meet someone? This may be our chance to find who is behind all this. Let's try and keep out of sight. I believe that gate leads to the old sewer system. All that sneaky must mean they got a secret meeting going on. Well, it's not the kind of place the employee of an NPO will drop by. The alley pretty narrow. If we all tried to cram ourselves in there, we'd be caught in no time. May you giving us a hand, Quattri? Oh, I see. Sure, few should have no issue getting in. They'll be able to survey the scene for us. Theo, don't let them see you, but transmit everything in your surrounding, okay? And how was today's harvest? Not as good as we hoped. They seemed pretty content with where they were. I'm planning on going back to the construction area of the suburbs. I had better luck over there. Well, I guess I do already have enough for the first camp. We should get too greedy. Anyway, camp? They're trafficking? Anyway, delivery is right after. Delivery? You will be there, right? Right? Okay. Yeah, after all the trouble I went through, I'll be sure to see them off. They're trafficking. Besides, I want to ask the people up top who the client was. Hey, me too. Is another quality thingy? Anyway, I'm heading down to the subway to find some runaway that fit the bill. Well, if something comes up, just give me a holler. Did I hear that right? Yeah, this seems to be more dangerous than we thought. We absolutely cannot allow them to get away with this. And all under the guise of trying to help. It's just too cruel. So yes, it's trafficking. We have to... Why I'm talking like this? That the target is leaving. It sounded like he was heading to their gathering place. Alright, let's keep after him. Yes, we should hurry. Once again! Oh my god, shut up! Fuck you! Look, all the games have dark, twisted sea quest. Yeah. So I won't say like, oh, but this is all for real. But you know, like, I think since we are getting near our times per se, because at this point I think we got the conclusion that how do you say it? That the game or the timeline or whatever is kind of like them getting near and near and near to the technology that we have right now. So living and getting near the moment that we're living right now, we see quests that are very hard and very... The other games also do that, you know? But this kind of like... I don't know. But it doesn't deny the fact that the other games also have this type of quest, like... That you're like, oh, what the heck just happened? Dude. I'm like, walk faster. I'm like, never mind, I can do this. You're good? Okay, it's good. He using a car, looks like he's headed to the suburbs. I was able to take down his license plate number. However, even if we manage to find a car, it's unlikely we'll be able to catch up to him. Maybe my friend will know his destination. Can I have a minute? Hey, you mentioned something about movement in the suburbs earlier? A bus that was transporting people? That has to be them. You saw it somewhere along the Highway 8. Highway 8, that means it was headed in the same direction. Then let's add that our next stop. Sorry that this was so sudden, but I appreciate this info. We'll look into it in our end. Don't worry about the rest. Good luck. Give us a call if you need anything else. Give us. So I guess it's Angie and Crow. Alright, it looks like we managed to figure it out. Didn't think we end up relying on your friends again so soon. let's go see what these criminals have got cooking. We'll put a stop to what they're planning. Okay, where are we? This isn't what we agreed to. You say you get better jobs for us. Where are you even taking us to? As I say, I'm taking you to your new employer. It's just as we agree. Besides, it's not like you were able to find anything better in the meantime, were you? Damn you, I should have never listened to your crap. You have no right to refuse. You're coming with us, whether you like it or not. You're all living outside the law, don't you see? Just stay quiet and do as you're told. I see you finally decide to show your true colors. Sorry, but the Dollar family won't be getting away with this one. Out there you could take advantage of the people. We're putting an end to it. Your target people looking for help. Just do something like this. And just so you know, we have been recording this the entire time. I'm sure there's enough for a quick conviction too. Thanks for the scouting ahead, Theo. How did you find us? Archive Solution, ain't you the ones who let us in hot water last year? Glad to hear we left such a good impression, folks. Then I don't gotta explain what we do with scums like you now, do I? Cause we don't exactly bring out the tea and cookie. You're the recruiting of the Dollar family, right? Pretty bold of you setting foot in a trade even the Lay family won't touch. You asshole must be so proud. All slave trade are the same. The only way to deal with them is to beat them senseless. Persisting with area lockdown, all bystanders please retreat to a safe distance. Don't worry about— oh my god! But she's not fighting, right? You think you can look down on us? We are not going anywhere. I will make sure— ah, shut up!
Let's see what you're made of.
Okay.
Keep it up!
Activating skill.
Time for the main event! Vandalize! Raid!
Boost gauge limiter unlocked.
Your turn, Judith!
Twilight kick! It's go time!
Activating skill.
This one's gonna knock your socks off! I hope you're— now for the Grim Knight Wall!
Boost gauge limiter released.
No way!
Our chance!
Activating skill.
Let's go, Zeros! Lance mode, activated, Gamma! Driver!
Boost gauge limit raised.
No way!
What? I hate them. Oh. And if you're looking for someone to blame, take it out with your leader. Alright, now let's get them tied up. Damn it, they have ruined everything. Well, if I can win, I will at least make sure they lose. I think again. Oh! Why they black out that? Can't they do the pew even slow motion? Let's just say I have a lot of experience, you dumb ass. I'm in the Coastal Riviera and everywhere. I even have an S-craft. I'm a playable character in those lores. Besides, there's no way I was about to let you go after all the harm you caused. What, you really thought we would forget about you? You must be the king of wishful thinking. Yeah, no dice, man. You got a hell of a lot to answer for, and you better not squimp out on any details either. Fine, I surrender. You think you won't surrender? Thanks for handing them over to us. We have our eyes on the Dollar's family's activities for quite a while now. Well, I'm glad we could at least put one of their schemes to bed. Anyway, is it really okay for us to speak to the victims right now? Don't get me wrong, I'm only giving you a few minutes. And even if you do have connection to Kincaid, Just try and stay out of trouble from now on, alright? Okay, I'll try to keep my head down. So rude. Excuse me, Agent Humbert. Yes, we are able to apprehend all of the Mafia collaborators. We still need to confirm with the 2nd External Affairs Division if it's related to the prior incident. From what we have learned so far, it seems that their client... Yeah, given demographically of the victims, I have no doubt that it's related. We'll have to do the investigation into their backgrounds. Is something wrong, Agent Humbert? It's nothing for you to worry. Anyway, I'll handle the follow-up. The Immigrants Analysis Division should come integrant to our decisions once they receive all remaining details. We'll talk more then. Well, as it stands, it sounds like we'll be formally taking charge of this investigation. We have appreciated your cooperation thus far, but seriously, keep your hand to yourself from now on, okay? Yeah, no need to tell me twice. Well, I suppose since we've found all the missing immigrants, we can consider this job a close? Yes, I agree, however, I'm a bit worried that we are unaware as to why they were targeting migrants from North Lemuria. Their client was indeed of people within that demographic. As for that reason, what reason, I really don't know. Yeah, it didn't really seem like the guy was lying about that part either. Come to think of it, that guy from the CID said they were still worried about that particular client of the Dollar's families. A demand for people from the poorest walks of life. It's not hard to imagine what they plan to do with them. Yes, but we don't have proof of any further intention they may have. We have to do a more thorough investigation. Well, that can wait for now. I think we should worry about getting these people back home first. So at the end of the day, it was the Dollar family behind it. We are not completely sure why they had such a specific target, but we did manage to bring everyone back safely. Why would that be? Thank goodness, I'm glad I asked for your help after all. I must say, I'm surprised it was such a scheme by the Mafia though. How could they be so cruel? I'm worried the victims will have a hard time recovering from the trauma. Yes, that is valid concern. As a migrant without valid work visa, they have very little protection under the law. They were manipulated out of their chance for stability. Even if they were to report their damage to the police, they might just end up being arrested and deported. The guild should have no issue with taking them in as a form of humanity sanctuary. But I suppose considering their own lawful status, there would be a limit to how much they could do if officially were to intervene. You probably have to dismantle all the laws from the past century to get anything done. Man, this sucks. How do you wanna deal with it, Chief? Wow. Oh, goddamn fuck. The guild and the ICO? Conrad. Conrad? Yeah, Conrad! I would prefer to leave this up to you, Conrad. Van? Well, I suppose it is part of my... Aha! You just want me to place them all back into stable position, right? I don't mean to sound so unsure, but is this really how you want to handle things? I get the feeling you're someone who actually cares about these people. Plus, you got the editor-in-chief vouching for you, right? That sounds like a good guy in my book. Honestly, I'm not so sure about... Oh, goddamn! Yeah, it kinda sounds like you are leaving it to chance. Look, these people must have some pretty good reason for taking the risk to come and work in the Republic. And Conrad done all of this before, hasn't he? He knows his way around both the police and the immigrants. He'll get the jobs in no time. Isn't that right? Yes, I take full responsibility and help them onto their feet once more. Oh, look! What? Why you guys look at me like that? You, the next time you decide. As a member of the guild, this isn't something I can officially can. Elaine! Are you sure this is the choice you want to do, Mike Man? Okay, let me choose again. Yeah, Spriggan gotta be steadfast in their decision, you know? I think this is the best way to deal with the situation. Besides, it's not like I plan to leave it up to this guy alone. I don't trust him that much. If he goes back on his promise, I'll make sure he pays for it. Alright, I suppose we'll see how it all plays out. Naturally, if anything happens, the guild will have no choice but to intervene, just so you are aware. Anyway, thank you for all your help, the workers were saved and I don't have to keep looking over my shoulders. I'll deposit the money into your account as soon as I can. Work for me? If you need any help with anything else, just let me know. I have to make sure I give my thanks to Conning again. Well, I guess I'll be heading off now. I need to gather the crew and discuss our steps going forward. I think it's about time. I'm on my way as well. I'm sure we'll have plenty to discuss at the next ICO meeting. We'll probably have to do a bunch of research too. Thank you so much all for your help, Miss Towa. We wouldn't have been able to solve this case without you. Yeah, I hear you were good, but you really pulled out all the stops. I may even come to your help on our future jobs. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. Farewell, Agnes. Good luck with everything. So, Crow and Angie? We're done here, right? This whole thing left a pretty bad taste in my mouth. There's a few things I'm worried about personally, but we can at least rest assured that the victims will take care of. I think we can go ahead and call this a case closed. We should keep this whole situation in mind for the future though. Yeah, if those villains ever show their face again, I'll tear them a new one. I'm sure the guild will have to raise their alerts after hearing about all this. If this is just a hint of what's going on in the underground, we may want to deal with the situation before it develops even further. I'm worried that something like this will happen again. Van and Towa seem to have their suspicions of who the mastermind is though. But the CID said about certain demographics being targeted. Maybe what? Stop the thingy. Money oh? So you're gonna say Agnes or Crow? That's the fun that she's alone now, right? Young man. Oh, it's Crow. It's Crow. I still haven't been able to find any details about their plan. However, it does seem like there's a chance they mean to take action soon. I assume that's why the CID has been on the defense against this second generation recently. So that's how they're connected. I'll continue the investigation on my end. Depending on what it entails, I may have to get help from Angie or Crow. Oh, so all this time was Crow! And the incident that Rin was worried about could be as... What is it? Rin? What? What the hell? Are all here? But that one she's talking is Crow, right? Regardless, the ball's in our court now. We need to find out exactly what's going on. As those who dealt with the shadows in the Empire, you may even say it's our duty. Right, this isn't about the Republic or the Empire. It's about the future. Let's give up our... Oh! I don't know. Even if she didn't say Crow, I'd be like, okay, it was Crow. But she's saying Crow is kind of like fanboy myself, just saying his name.
That's all, folks.
Reward deposited.
Yeah, Chaos, I did a great deal. Or maybe not, but good.